and welcome to Tales of Fazgard, where on each and every episode, I regale you with the wild adventures that I am on. That's right, listeners. Ryan is tied to the goat boat again. He is gagged. He's currently tied. It's very romantic. Hercules is not tied. Because, oh God, you can hear him.
None of those sound effects.
Hercules is here because he wants to be here. Ryan is here because he has to be here. That is the way that we've got it today. This is the third legacy number for the Chillium Roses in attendance of Tales of Fazgard, and I've got two fantastic co-hosts with me today. Hercules, are you excited?
Yes, of course, always. What do we call each other now? Not my. I made it weird one time. I called you my godly companion.
No. That isn't making it weird. That's making it hot. That's good. We are brothers from another pantheon.
Pantheon, absolutely.
We are the deific duo. Ryan is here hanging out. This is not a deific duo's journey into Mystery Road to 800, but listeners, you should be keeping track of that. Eric and I are knees deep in Walt Simonson right now, and you guys are welcome to join us. Mr. Doze, are you doing okay?
Yeah.
I see you clicking stuff.
Sorry, one of my neighbors tried to just come in my door, and I was like, "Go away!"
I mean, that is interesting. I'm glad that I took off your gag for that. That's an interesting story to tell.
Here's the thing: in our neighborhood, we've kind of become like that house that all the kids hang out at, which is flattering, also kind of annoying.
Yep, you got to put a lock on your door, man. That's the most small town America thing I've ever heard in my life.
Oh yeah, y'all. We just leave the screen door open, come in, have some lemonade. We just have it, just laying around. But no, yeah, I'm very excited for Tales of Fazgard because some of these things I wanted to ask you, but I purposely held off on not because I didn't want you to go on a rant and text all of it to me. I want to actually hear the emotion, the excitement, the inflection.
Today I've got my Thor Love and Thunder t-shirt on in preparation for what needs to be said. So nice. Mr. Doze, why don't you ask in the realm of the ones who sit above in shadow, why don't you ask me a question and I shall give you an answer?
Of the three, I'm probably Theurdy, the third, because there's
also the most high, right? Or
as we learned, there's the most high, that kind of just as high, and then there's the third.
No, it's the other way around. It's the high, higher, and most high. You just gave yourself the highest title.
I'm the butler. Then I'll give Will the third title because we're without Will. But Will is definitely one of the ones enthroned above in shadow. So one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about, Faz, was kind of how the summer has unfolded and kind of the cool opportunities that have come your way that you've helped line up, but also just kind of a little bit of chance was thrown in here too, because you were scheduled to go on a UK trip, but your UK trip got even crazier.
Yeah, Fazier.
So just give us a timeline.
Yeah, so in Cynthia and I went to the UK, folks, and we went to the UK specifically to see Wimbledon because I'm a big tennis fan.
The Paul Bettany movie.
Yes, the Paul Bettany movie.
Yes, okay.
We went to see to sit in center court. I'm a big tennis guy, and to be in kind of the cathedral of tennis. While we were there, you only get tickets to Wimbledon for one day. You can't get more than that without spending, this is not an exaggeration, £3,000 per ticket. So we were going to go once. We can afford the $100 for the one time, but we cannot afford the £3,000, which in Canadian dollars is almost $6,000.
Oh my gosh.
Each to go to it more than once. So we went one day. But we were there for 6, so we had lots of stuff we could do. One thing that exists in London is Greenwich. And in Greenwich is the old Royal Naval College where they filmed the final battle of Thor: The Dark World. So I thought to myself, it'd be kind of fun to go in the Thor costume. Not that I would ever actually do that. It'd be a whole day. No way Cynthia's going to want to do that with me. Bring a hammer across the Atlantic or the Pacific. I don't even know which ocean is it. Atlantic. That seems ridiculous.
Depends on which way you went.
So I emailed the old Royal Naval College. They have a form you fill out to ask if I was allowed to bring a costume there. And I got a reply from the guy thinking I was trying to film a movie there. And he asked me how many staff I had, how many actors there were. They were trying to figure out how much the bill they were going to charge me to use their space would be so they could decide if I could film there or not. And I was like, no, you misunderstand, friend. I am a guy with a plastic hammer who likes to dress up as Thor. Here is my Instagram account. Here is a photo of my costume. My wife and I just wanted to go take some photos in the outside. Is that allowed? To which they were like, oh shit, we're trying to break a Guinness World Record in September. We're trying to set the record for most numbered of costume people in a space. So if you come to Greenwich, we'll let you in 2 hours before anybody else is open, and you'll have full access to the grounds. We'll send our marketing person with you. We'll take a bunch of photos and videos, and you can help us advertise this Guinness Book of World Record and take as many photos as you want while you're there.
Son of a bitch.
So it switched from, hey, let's, like, babe, would you be down if we go all the way to Greenwich, which is way out of the way, to take a photo of me in my Thor costume? It's a very weird thing to do in London, but let's do it. To, the Old Royal Naval College wants to collab with me on Instagram. So, like, what am I going to do, So now I've shared a video of me wandering around what they describe as Britain's Sistine Chapel, the painted hall. It's incredible because if you've seen the video and the photos, and I've shown you guys, everything is so ornate and classical and so depth. It's all paint. Those are just cylinders and squares. There are no etched details. Nothing is carved. It's all painted to look like that. It's a big square room. So it's incredible. Being there with no one else was mind-blowing. Being able to be in Greenwich, where the site of one of the podcast's favorite Thor movies. Wasn't it like the 4th best MCU movie based on our head-to-head March Madness?
It made it really far. Yeah.
Much to the chagrin of real comic books.
Strictly on vibes, right? But
strictly on vibes.
Getting to be there in my Thor suit was really, really, really special, and something that I'm really thankful for. So thanks to the Old Royal Naval College. Anybody who's in the UK and has a costume, please go attempt to break their Guinness World Record in September, because that's really cool. I would have loved them to offer to fly me back to be a part of it. They did not do that, and I'm sure you're all shocked. But I had a great time there. It was completely serendipitous. My Omni Fashions can't even be the thing that made it happen, because Cynthia was the one who suggested that I email them.
Yeah.
And here we are. So, I may be the all Fazer, but the all Cynthia, I don't even know, the synth mother. We'll have to workshop it.
Synth mother.
She is the
that's her EDM DJ name, actually.
Yeah. So not only is she a DJ, but she is mother. She's the brains beyond the operation. I'm sure you're all shocked. Any questions about Greenwich, folks?
Just one thing, like, if they weren't going to send you a plane, it's the Royal Naval College. They were going to send you a boat.
I would boat to England. That'd be freaking sweet.
Sorry, Eric, go ahead. I will leave my stupid questions to the end.
I was just gonna joke that it's a total missed opportunity to not have one of those little like beacon things that keeps the convergence open or something like that. Whatever.
Yes.
Stake some of those in the ground, like, while you're out there.
Now, listeners, stay tuned. Like, I've shown Eric already. The cool thing about being there is that you can edit a little bit and have the live action thing. So I have this beautiful shot of me walking towards the kind of gates of Greenwich and the big blue skies in the background. What if I told you that I could easily put Malekith's ship up there? And you shall see that eventually.
I mean, right? A big blue sky on a perfectly clear day. It's like Gaia's green screen. It
is like Gaia's blue screen. That's exactly right. Yeah,
yes.
Yeah. Thank you, Mother Gaia, for what you have done.
So I'm curious, because I've seen this in the past. Did Cynthia give any thought to packing her Scarlet Witch costume?
Absolutely not.
Oh,
but
God.
She should have, because the Old Royal Naval College not only filmed Thor 2, the wedding scene from Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is filmed in the chapel there. So on my way out, we were leaving, and they were like, "You went to the chapel, right? That's also a big Marvel place. That's where they filmed Doctor Strange's wedding." And I was like, "What? Doctor Strange's wedding?" And I Googled it, and it's like, holy shit, Christine got married there. Don't know why, because he goes out a balcony that doesn't exist into the middle of downtown New York.
Right.
So, like, I don't know why they needed this British church to be their film. Maybe they filmed Doctor Strange in England, and that just made sense.
Aren't Scarlet Witch and Vision in Greenwich when they're attacked by
they might be, yeah.
In Proxima Midnight? I'm just saying. I don't know why, but I thoroughly loved when Cynthia dressed up as Scarlet Witch, and I was like,
yeah.
Ha, 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 she married a nerd, and now she's stuck.
Yeah. I've been trying to get her to cosplay Mighty Thor for about 5 years now. we'll see how it goes. I've gotten close a few times where my company has just not been willing to send the costume at the time, and she's like, "Well, I'm not paying for this, so I need them to." And then the moment passes, and she goes, "Yeah, I'm not doing that. Sorry." So I need I need the moment of her being like, "Fine, I'll do this," and the moment where the company goes, "Yeah, sure, it's your turn. You want a fucking Mighty Thor costume? Sure, whatever, send it on." So hopefully someday.
Love, like, the idea that you've proposed it, just like yeah, like the Mighty Thor costume, like it's you're like getting some sick thrill off of this, aren't you? Like, no, it's for pictures.
Wouldn't it be really cool, right? It would be really nice.
Totally.
Yeah. Now it was also nice for her because having the spot to herself meant that she could get a bunch of photos in it too of just her, right? So it was a nice setup for all of us. We had a nice time in Greenwich. One of the consensus best fish and chip places in London is in Greenwich, so we went there for lunch. I had chicken, she had fish. It was very nice.
Barbarian.
Faz, is there anything that you, any insights or anything that you gleaned from being there in person that you would have not gotten from just Googling things online or just watching the movie over and over again? Anything that, like, I don't know, what was going through your mind? Were you picturing, a filmmaker trying to like angle out shots, or was it more focused on just recreating moments?
I was surprised at how much detail there was and how many different angles than the ones that we got in the movie could have been shown.
Yeah.
Most of the movie fight is kind of one corner of the thing, and there's so much more around it. And like the establishing shots from above, like the drones or whatever they did, show the whole college, but I was surprised how much they cornered. I also, getting to talk to the people who worked there was really cool. Like they talked about Marvel has thought about using them like 10 times, but continually goes, they were in Thor 2, we can't. And to me, like the painted hall, that room that I was talking about, it exists. The library scene where Selvig and Jane run through the library, and then the people tell them to shut up, and they say everybody needs to get out of here, and then the all the glass is broken. That's the painted hall. So that 10-second window is all it's been used for. And they're like, we can't use it anymore. It was used in 10 seconds in this movie that is one of the consensus lowest rated Marvel movies.
Where the camera was facing down instead of up, and you don't even know the difference.
You don't even know it was there, right? Like the ceiling is so, like it could have doubled for Asgard so easily. I'm surprised that they didn't do something like that. But that was interesting. And then just the amount of like, it's one of the national landmarks in Britain, right? And it's like a UNESCO World Heritage Site and so on and so forth. But it wasn't heavily attended by any means. Like it's kind of off the beaten path, and it's not that popular, which is mind blowing to me. Like you put this thing in Toronto or you put it somewhere in the States, and it's like the showpiece of the city that it's in. Yeah. But in London, they're like, the Naval College, of course, nice. Right? So like the biggest thing I was struck by is like, how is this not a bigger deal? Why are there just people going for walks through this? Why is it like, this is a special place? And maybe it's the Thorness on the inside of me, but like there's the river on the one side, there's golden gates, it's got the big white buildings, 2 domes, it's got the beautiful church and the painted hall. Like I was just blown away by kind of the grandeur of it and how low key it was. So for me, I think those are probably the biggest takeaways.
Both grand and down to earth somehow.
Also, shout out Louisa, who was the marketing person that I was with. She was awesome. She knew the best angles and all the coolest spots to go to, and she's the one that was running the whole thing. So thank you very much to her for being so accommodating.
So I one quick question before we move on from the college itself, because I know there's another aspect of this Tales of Fazgard that Eric and I probably have dozens of questions about. Did you have like a shot list going into it? Did the marketing people have like certain things they wanted to do?
Yeah. So I watched the movie and was kind of underwhelmed by how few recreation shots I could do there, because it's all like covered in dust and shadow because of like Malek the ship and because of like the ether and stuff. Right.
Yeah.
So like there's very little old Royal Naval College in there. So instead of going for like shot for shot remakes, it was more vibes. Yeah. So I found like spots where I could be placed in the middle. You get the 2 domes on either side of me, and I like had the hammer beside me, and I like raised the hammer, and I walked to it, and I walked away from it, and I got kind of all those sorts of things at every angle. And then they had like, you should walk up the painted hall doors, and then we'll pan up to the thing and you'll get to like a nice video of that. You should walk down those. You should go to the next level and you should use like the reflective pool thing you have. You should go to the next thing and take photos interior there. And then we should go outside and do photos here, and here, because they have this like corridor on the outside that looks like ancient Roman, like pillars and so on and so
Yeah.
forth, columns. Yeah. So they had like a lot of like, they knew kind of what they were doing. And I just did like hammer down, hammer in front of me, hammer on my shoulder, hammer over my head, like just kind of all the regular Thor variations, because it wasn't like we did recreate one where it's like before all the shit happens, he lands and it's cool. But like, apart from that, unless I'm going to edit a whole bunch of dark elf nonsense around it, it's not really it's not gonna be worth it. Whereas like the photo of me hammer raised, the two domes, like one on each side of me, and then like the dark elf like ship behind it or something is like really, really cool. And then the painted room was very like looking for corners of Asgarddom. So they have these two beautiful Roman ornate what's the word, lamps basically, and they have a bunch of lights on the top, and the way that the lights look is they kind of look like flames. So we got on certain angles to make it look like they were truly lit flames. So that sort of stuff to kind of really bring home the Asgardian feel of it was what I liked using the painted hall for. And then the exterior was for the like, this is where Thor the Dark World happened.
Yeah. Oh, two different mindsets going into it. So Faz, the hammer.
Yeah.
So this was something when you told us in our group chat, the hammer you were going to be taking for at least parts of this, and the hammer you had acquired this summer, I literally could not believe.
Yeah, so the hammer that came to England was not this special hammer for obvious reasons. Yeah.
But can you tell us the new hammer that you have added to your collection, the significance of it?
To your museum.
So this hammer, which if we ever do a video, you'll be able to see, but if not, then at least it's here for Ryan and Eric. Yeah. This is a screen used Love and Thunder Mjolnir. It's a screen used hero. It was used for it's the lighter one, as you can tell from how I'm dancing around with it. It was used for mainly Jane, but was obviously touched by Thor on occasion too. And it's got a lot of wear and tear on it. So they think that it was one of the like light stunt work and like kind of swinging around hammers. Because the way that they work in the movies is you get like a metal 40-pound one that is there for close-ups and if you need like the muscles to pop. Yeah. Then you've got the lighter heroes like this one that look identical, but you can actually have it for like 12 hours if you're doing a lot of filming that day. And you might do some swinging around, but not actually hitting anything because obviously it's not safe. It's not foam.
For carrying.
Yeah, and then you've got foam ones that are the stunt ones that you use for actual full fight scenes and stuff. So this is that middle level. It is approximately half an inch smaller than when they make them just for Thor, but it's the exact same size as how Thor's hammers sized were in Thor 1, Avengers 1, and most of Thor 2. Once they went further, they made them slightly larger, but longtime listeners might know that Chris Hemsworth is over 6'3" and I'm 5'7". So I have no complaints about a slightly smaller to scale Mjolnir that matches my balance perfectly. It's got vegan leather on it because it's a Natalie Portman hammer. So that she doesn't have to deal with meat because she is a vegan. And it is stunning. I've got lots of pretty hammers. I've got lots of really nicely built. Like I've got a full metal one that I painted myself that is like incredible. But this one is just, I took it to a photo shoot yesterday and I handed it to my photographer and he immediately handed it back and was like, I can't, like it's, like you can feel how much nicer it is than the ones that I have. Like it's incredible, and it's the prized piece of my collection now. I need to put it under glass or something or get it insured, but I just can't bring myself to do that because every morning before I go to work, I just raise it once just in case. You know?
And just Cynthia like peeking like, God, you're a dork.
Yeah, thankfully she goes to work before me, so she doesn't see that part. Yeah. But it is, it's the centerpiece of my collection. Ask away, folks.
How could it not be? Like
when you say wear and tear, describe, like, I'm assuming that's a relative term because this is not for stunts. This is for like,
so like
it's been handled, but it's not like been taking hits from people.
No. So can you see like a few scrapes on the front?
Yeah. There's like scuffing on it. Yeah.
Or like there's some paint chips on the top here. Mm-hmm. And like you can see on the rings, some of the rings have lost some of the paint. Yeah. Because she's been holding it. And all that stuff is important because the thing about screen use props is that providence is very hard to prove. Yeah. And the thing about screen use Mjolnirs is that Russell Bobbitt, the head prop master of Marvel makes a bunch of fakes and sells them as heroes. Not fakes in the sense that like they're made by him, they're made exactly in the real way, but what he'll do is he'll scuff them up in the same way and say this is the one they used in Thor the Dark World, and they'll be sold for tens of thousands of dollars. So there's a big problem with early Thor hammers where there's a million of them. Like there's like 100 Dark World hammers on the market.
Yeah.
Love and Thunder was made by a little Australian shop, and they're all made a certain way. There were just these ones, and then also the cast gift was also a Mjolnir, but different. So the certain wear and tear and where it is and where it's like matched is how you can tell that it's a screen used real one versus like the fun ones they made for the cast.
Mm-hmm.
And because the guy that I got it from, he is a VFX artist for Marvel. He did Mjolnir in Thor Ragnarok. The scene where he's fighting the fire demons underground, he did Mjolnir for that.
Oh, wow.
And he is the one who kind of tracked the provenance and got it from the prop makers in Australia, and that way. So it's a very, like, those sorts of wear and tear things are how you know that it's not a cast gift. Mm-hmm. It's the specific screen used, along with like there are a few differences in the mold and stuff like that.
Okay.
But, yeah.
But Faz, why have we never talked about this friend before? Why have we never talked to this friend before?
He's not very public about his stuff. He his main claim to fame is that he paints props. He's and he obviously painted Mjolnirs to make them look like how he envisioned them because he has a little more of a say in that. But he's very private. Like he has a collection of a bunch of screen used props, and like I'm not even allowed to follow it on Instagram because I'm a cosplayer and I might see the photos and recreate them, and it might hurt the market because people might see like if you do it the same way as the real people do it, then it can be recreated and more fakes can happen, like that Thor hammer problem.
Okay.
So it's like, yeah, like I don't think you'd want to talk about this kind of stuff because it would be, the market is, I would never have thought I would buy a screen used Mjolnir because I can't trust that they're real. There's way too many fakes and duplicates. And the thing about the Mjolnirs in the previous era is that they all look different. So like, you could get one that's painted. I learned this when I was trying to paint my King Arts Mjolnir perfectly. Every reference photo is different because each prop is different. They're not consistent scene to scene, even let alone like movie to movie, let alone there. It's literally scene to scene. They're different. They look different at the stunt level versus the hero versus the metal hero.
Yeah.
So there's no way to know if they're real or not, apart from that Russell Bobbitt is going, yeah, they're real. I told you that. So the Australian ones are different because they are like there are telltale signs that these things are real, all the way down to like the type of glue that's used on it is this like blue putty glue, and I can see in some of the cracks where the glue is. Or there's yellowing around the paint because of the type of paint they use to kind of make the CG lightning and stuff pop. You can see it around the sides, like things like that only happen for this particular Australian made Thor Love and Thunder hammer. Similarly, the price range was not nearly what a Odinson hammer would be because there are a million misogynists out there who didn't want a girl Thor hammer.
Pass. Don't need that one.
Which
it's not a real Thor hammer.
Jane's version of Mjolnir does one of the coolest abilities I've ever seen a Thor.
It's the coolest one. Yeah, it's the spiritual successor of when Thor in the comics goes, Mjolnir never did that for me. It's the same kind of thing. Mjolnir was never a shotgun for Thor Odinson in the MCU. So yeah, it's like their loss is my gain. My buddy had some other props he was going for, so he wanted to kind of offload, and he messaged me first because he knew how much it would mean to me.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I'll be forever grateful for him. So
Faz, as we kind of like wrap up our little like Faz, summer of the hot Thor summer in your neck of the woods. I just want to like go around maybe a little bit. Eric, do you have anything like you want to pick Faz's brain about with most of these two experiences? Or Faz, do you have things that you feel like would be negligibly left out before we wrap it up?
I got a question. In Faz's museum, where is this going to end up? Is it going to be, like you said, it needs to be like in a glass case or something, but like, where does this fit? Is it just going to be in the corner of a bedroom or in an office? Like, what's the end game with these, these sort of really high-end, nice stuff?
So good question. I have that metal King Arts Thor hammer. It's going to be in one of the rooms. It's either going to be in the office with me here, or it's going to be the bottom centerpiece of the museum room with like all the fancy comics and all the comic art. And then I want to have 3 or 4 props on kind of a bench type thing to make it a like not overstuffed museum. It might be down there or it might be up here. And then this hammer will be in whichever place the King Arts isn't. So this one should be in the basement where it's cooler and can be under glass, so it's well protected. But like I said, I really like touching it. But I also shouldn't be touching it because it's a screen use prop, right? So there will come a time when I'm like, I've done this enough times, I should put this under glass. And it'll probably be the centerpiece of downstairs with maybe it in the middle, Captain America shield on one side, and then one other prop that means a lot to me, maybe my arrow bow or something like that beside it, and the 3 of them will be there. Above it, we'll have the comic art, and then on the other side here, it'll have the comics that mean a lot to me that I'm going to totally steal from the way that you have it in your background, Eric.
So what you're saying is you haven't really thought about it at all.
I mean, the big issue is I need to clear out my basement. When we moved here, all of our worldly possessions were put down there that didn't fit anywhere else in the house. So I need to like get a junk guy in to just like, we don't need, like we have 3 microwaves because each time we moved, our previous roommates were like, I don't want this anymore, you take it. It's like, I got to like get rid of these microwaves. We've got a few sofas that need to be removed, stuff like that to really make the room finished. And then it'll probably live down there.
I'm going to officially change your name from Yacht Money to Sofa Money or Microwave.
There you go,
Money.
Microwave Money. What about Thor art money? Like, come on, now I've got a Walt Simonson Thor. I've got an Assad Ribic Thor versus Loki. I've got, what else do I have, Eric? I have a Russell Dodderman. The scene when Mjolnir is reforged. I have the artist print of that.
A Martine commission.
I have a Martin Coccolo commission recreation, a hand-drawn version of his most iconic Thor cover and my favorite Thor cover of all time. And I've got Absolute Superman from Rafa Sandoval.
So you are the Ash Ketchum of Thor nerd shit.
I'm just, I'm going a little overboard. The Superman made me feel better because now I can be like, see, it's not all Thor. It's not a hyperfixation.
Yeah.
I cosplay as Arrow still. Come on.
Yeah, right? Like I could get some Arrow art, but like I don't know if that's really going to fit the same vibe,
Faz, this is Tales of Fazgard. How do you want to end the episode? How do you want to wrap up the conversation and take us out of here?
I think that covers up, guys. I think it's time we hop back aboard that Rainbow Bridge. I think it's time that we enjoy the rest of our times. I think listeners, I want to plug one more time. If you like what we do here and you like when I take the reins, please listen to the Deific Duo's Journey into Mystery Road to 800 because either Eric or I will run that episode when we're there. It's a fun little change up. We're doing this really cool thing. We're learning everything there is to learn about the God of Thunder. And you guys can do that too. But I'll be back for Tales of Fazgard because there's a bunch of Comic-Cons coming up in the next little bit. And I will have people to talk about. Russell Dodderman's going to New York Comic-Con. Let's fucking go!
I hate that you get to do that.
Do you guys have any final thoughts before I wrap us up?
Gosh, not really. Here's the thing. We have kind of like versions of this episode coming up soon. Like, Eric and I have not explicitly said, things about, we want to do like, I don't know, like a Ryan special or an Eric special, but like we have a really cool episode in the works with Will where he's been sifting through his comics and he has a box that is specifically like comics that mean the most to him. And I have seen Will's comic book collection in person, everybody. It is extensive for someone that doesn't own their own comic book store.
Is it Jason Aaron levels of long boxes?
No, gosh, no. Jason's house is probably full with stuff he just wrote. It's crazy, but we're working on an episode with Will when he has some more time freed up to talk about Will's most meaningful comics, and I am so beyond excited for that. We've got more things coming for Hot Thor Summer. We got more Dan Jurgens. We're going to be doing some Fantastic Four and Thor stuff, and which will include a review of the movie that's coming. We have a lot of things, fun stuff planned, and Tales of Fazgard is always a joy to learn the tales of Faz throughout all the realms that he visits. So Comic-Con is going to be a good one, man. What? Just real quick, what Comic-Cons are you going to go to?
So there's Fan Expo Canada, which I go every year, and I'll be taking that bus of people we work with in the community again. And then New York Comic Con's the big one. They've just announced the guests, but not the comic guests really yet. So I've got to kind of get my shit together on who I'm going to meet. Simu's going to be there. That's pretty cool. James McAvoy is going to be there. That's really cool. There's a lot of, I have to decide the value proposition of, do I want to spend that much money to meet this person or not in the next couple days? Because I'm a VIP this year, and that means that I get in early and I get to meet everybody as quickly as I want. But so again, boys, so any comics you need signed,
not the other way around.
Yeah. So see, like I get to go first. I don't need to wait for the long 3-hour lines to meet anybody. I can just walk in and walk out instead of having to go through whenever the time is. Yeah. So I got to decide if there's anybody I want to meet for that reason, because it's there, you know.
You need to walk up to Simu Liu dressed as Shang-Chi and be like, I loved you in Kim's Convenience.
Dude, I'm not going to do a Shang-Chi costume because I don't look.
Why not? Why would that be?
You know, wherever you guys are, if you're if you're traveling, making a pilgrimage to one of the meccas of Thor, if you are collecting what is truly a Holy Grail prop in a collection that is becoming a collection of Holy Grails, if you are collecting your favorite artists and giving them the props they can and helping them directly by commissioning them, if you're going to a Comic-Con, or if you're just spending a nice Sunday evening with the boys talking about the comics that you love, you can do one thing, listeners, and that is to stay worthy and stay omni-fashioned.
He is drunk with power.